Inside, the lights are low. This isn't your typical lounge. This is where the forgotten tales gather, where the shadows have their say. We'll talk of monsters in the woods, of killers with a motive and lights in the sky, and ghosts in the attic. Come into the waiting room, please.
All right, tonight we have Corey Cole, and is he here? Let's take a look. Oh, there's Michael. Okay. Hey, Michael.
Hello. Hello, Michael.
All right. Well, we got a full panel. Where's the guest? Okay, and Corey Cole, he had a gremlin encounter. And we all know that from watching the movie Gremlins. It's sort of supposed to be make-believe, but maybe, and Jerry Smith suggested this, that it could be maybe some type of demon or something. So I'm going to have everybody introduce themselves. I'm going to see where Corey is and get him on the show. Okay, so I'll start with Stacy.
All right. Hi, I'm Stacy Myers. Been in and around the group of HPI with Paul since 2006, 2007, somewhere around there. And I am an empath, semi-psychic, not full psychic. I see stuff in dreams and get feelings of people far off in the distance. And then that's about it. I'm nothing interesting. I've got an MS in psychology, I guess. That's a little bit interesting.
That is interesting.
Oh, nice to meet you guys.
You too. Where are you located?
I am in Southwest Missouri, so it is cold, rainy, and icky here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. All right, Jerry, you next.
Yeah, Jerry, you're next.
So I've known Paul for quite a while. He did an investigation in my home before to clear out a demon for me. And we've been friends ever since. And I went on some investigations with him, but he knows I have a hard time staying up past 9. So I didn't get to do too many. But they were a lot of fun, and he definitely knows his stuff. So I'm excited to be on the podcast. I'm up here in Florence, Oregon right now.
Oh, my.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know where it's at. It's on the coast, halfway up the coast in Oregon. Yeah.
Okay. So you got coldness going on?
Yeah, I mean, it really hasn't been too bad. I mean, I was in Sacramento, Elk Grove for 30 years, and I just came up here for a little bit to take care of my mom for a while, but it's pretty nice.
I'm always in Elk Grove.
You are?
Yeah.
So is that where you're currently at, or are you located somewhere?
I'm up right now. I'm near Pollock Pines.
Oh, perfect. Love it up there.
Okay. Okay, Michael?
Oh, thank you, Stacy.
You're welcome, my dear.
I'm still working on trying to get.
I know you are, sweetheart. I'll take over.
You got it, T. PDR.
All right. Come on, Corey.
Michael, you're next.
Oh, I wasn't sure if Paul had something.
Yeah, go for it, my dear.
So I'm Michael Koff. I'm a paranormal investigator / author / podcaster of many hats out of Dallas, Texas area.
Nice.
I've been investigating for probably about a decade now, and had a lot of experiences, and so I've been on a couple of shows with Paul, and he was on one of my shows, and we clicked, and so I'm happy to be here.
All right. Thank you, Michael. It's nice meeting you guys. All right, Zandine, you ready?
Yes. I am Luke. I am your father. And I am known as Paranormal Soul Brother. And what that means is I'm also born March 14th on Albert Einstein's birthday. But unfortunately, I didn't inherit his math skills. Actually, I did, but I just don't use them.
Oh, okay.
And I love sky watching. Ghost. I have a cheesy paranormal show, Paranormal Soul Brother. Don't laugh. And I used to do a little bit of acting. Been on WKRP in Cincinnati. I played a punk kid there. Been acting my whole life. I'm a blues singer, really, more first and foremost. You know, make you get your fire insurance out. The drinks is cold and the people is hot. Okay. Anyway, that's it.
So
I love the
you're currently a singer in that area right around there, or you travel different?
I go to Powerhouse. I sing at the Powerhouse, the tour to in San Francisco, the Swig, Music City, something like that.
I know Marie ran the Powerhouse for quite a while.
I know you know the Powerhouse. I know, yeah. The Powerhouse. I usually catch you do a show like on Sundays. It's been a while. Like I do I do a 2-hour show. Someone they'll book me for that. And then I also got a lot of friends that meet there for jam night, you know, to get, you know, different musicians, and then I pick up gigs like that too.
Oh, good to know. Hey, just out of curiosity, do you happen to know somebody called Mario Perugini?
You know what? The Perugini sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't say that I like.
Yeah, he's been friends a lot for 20 years. I've been seeing him, you know.
I bet you if you show me a picture of him and he's been on this scene, because if you've been on the Sacramento blues scene for the last, say, 14 years, I've been out there. It's like from Winton to Lathrop to, just everywhere. So if you say bluesy, then you go to the Powerhouse.
The main singer is Mark something, and I can't think of his last name, but Mario plays sax for him.
Anyway, okay.
Oh wow!
If I think of his last name, I'll let you know. Just curious.
Down here, it's only a few sax players right now that are like, you know, just everybody's like gigging, but it's only a few that I see down this way. Most of the horn players I know are from San Francisco.
Yeah. So anyway,
where's Corey?
I don't know. And so what we're going to do to keep things going, everybody talk about a paranormal experience that you witnessed and what happened.
Okay, I want to go first, Paul.
Yeah, Jerry. Yeah, tell your story.
Okay, you guys. So that when I met Paul, there was some new people that I had been around, and I heard word that they were into like dark magic and stuff like that, right? And so I didn't think too much of it. I just stayed away from them. Well, shortly thereafter, I started encountering stuff at my house, and one of them used to visit there, you know, a couple times. So everything that happened there was so crazy. Like I had 100 to 200 flies flying around my window and around my lamp, all reason for them to be there. Had my vacuum, took like 2 hours to suck them all up. I was in the bedroom with 3 other girls, and I heard this sound that was like dink, and I felt water splash on my foot. And I looked down on my foot, and other people heard the dink noise, right? And they all kind of looked at each other. And in the hallway, we heard just really deep laugh. And we all just looked at each other like, holy shit, that was a demon, right? And then I woke up one night and I seen the shadow person on the ceiling. I didn't know that's what it was. And I called Paul and I'm like, there's this black figure on my ceiling. It's got a hood. The edges aren't soft like a shadow. It's really sharp and black, you know? And I felt it looking at me. That's why I looked up. And he goes, oh, that's a shadow person. You know, they either have hoods or rims. This one had a hood, right? And then there was this hanger that would get bent in half and hung above my bed like 3 nights in a row. And I'd put it in the trash and I'd make it to where it couldn't move. And it would end up back there again. And then my daughter, Macy, and I were in the front room laughing about something. And she went out and she looked down at her arm. And there was those 3 scratches that you get from a demon.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's scary.
There was nothing that could have touched her arm because we were both right there. So Paul's like, I need to come over and do a cleansing. So he came over.
I want to come over there now.
So he came over and he blessed the house, and it was gone immediately after. There kept being these big handprints high up on these mirrors that you can't get to these mirrors. They were up so high, and there were just these long fingers, and so those kept reappearing on the mirror. I'd get up there and clean them, but there was quite a bit of activity. And I would have never believed, like, well, I can't say I would never believe, because I very much believe in the afterlife and demons and all that, but I would have never believed it would happen to me. But it was so textbook for everything that would happen when people get demons that are attempting and stuff.
So
Gary,
do you
did you
think
know?
that oh, go ahead, hon.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I was just wondering, do you think that the person that was coming over to your house left it there intentionally? Or was it more like an accident? It was something that was attached to them and it just decided to stay in your house?
No, because what happened was I had dated one of the guys, and he was mad because I wasn't continuing to date him. And I remember
Yep.
him
There it is.
talking to another girl with his friend, and I remember they were saying, I overheard their conversation, and he was like, well, you tell her, she better watch out, or we're gonna, do X, Y, and Z. And like, I was thinking, holy shit, these people really are demonic.
Wow.
So yeah, then I got away from those people, and then that happened. So I think that
Goodness.
if they somehow can make that happen.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that happened.
Well, I'm okay with it, but Paul, I was like not okay with it. Like, I'm pretty
Right.
spiritual. I believe I'm pretty protected, but it was really weird to see all that and to know that it was so out of the normal, and other people witnessed it too, and heard the laugh and stuff. So after that, that's when I realized demons are real, because we heard it, right out in the open. So
Yeah. My gosh. And you got to watch who you date.
yeah,
What
for
happened
sure.
to Zandine? Did it just okay? So I guess Zandine. I was gonna wait and see because Zandine was gonna say something. So
Might have lost signal. Maybe his
yeah.
phone died. There.
Okay. And also, to our guest, he says he's having problems getting on Zoom.
Huh.
So I'm trying
Oh, okay.
to work with them to get them on.
Okay.
The next person, Stacy, have Michael talk about his most scandalous investigation.
Oh, right, Michael. Go for it, my dear.
Well, I think the one that's coming to mind was this April. I was in San Antonio
Okay.
and had visited the Alamo, and
I was gonna say the Alamo.
that's not where the fun actually started. The fun actually started with I finish an episode of my podcast and I leave the hotel to meet up with a friend of mine and his teammate, and we're going to what was called a haunted forest. I put it in quotes because I now call it the dimensional forest. It's not a normal forest. And so we start to enter the forest by crossing this bridge. And it's not a very cloudy night, but there is no moonlight shining anywhere but on the bridge. Everything to the side of the bridge is completely blacked out. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. There should be moonlight, and I know I'm crossing a stream, so I don't know why I can't hear the water, but
Now, let me interject. Were you with a group of people? I'm trying to set the stage in my mind. Were you doing an investigation, or how were
I
you
was being escorted by two people.
Okay. So there wasn't
And
anybody else. It was just you three.
it was just us three, and they wanted my opinion of what was going to happen in this forest because they have investigated before and have shared their experiences, but they wanted my experience. And so we cross and we start to go into the bridge, and it sounds like monkeys are jumping from tree to tree, but there's no monkeys around. There's nothing around.
Well, I would hope
There's not even squirrels around to give you an
Wow.
idea. So I don't know what's
Wow.
jumping from tree to tree.
not.
And I veer off to the left, to the right, and I go off into the woods because paranormal investigator. That's what we do. I hit a certain spot and I stop, and I notice the back of not the full TV, just the back of a TV from like the 80s. And I'm like, why is this here? That's weird. And my friend, his teammate walks up behind me and he's like, where did that come from? And I was like, I don't know. I just saw it. And I go, but don't move. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, don't move. We're surrounded right now. Whatever is in this forest is surrounded us. They brought us here. I don't know what they want. But he was like, well, let's slowly back out. I was like, well, let's see if they'll let us. And we rejoined my friend who was the team lead. And I was talking with him a little bit about it. And he's like, oh, the TV, yeah, that's nothing new. But he goes, so you could sense something, huh? I go, yeah. So we start walking a little further up the path. And out of the corner of my left eye, I see this woman in white just blitz across.
Oh.
And I go, did you guys see that? And he goes, no, what'd you see? I go, a woman in white. He goes, wow, the forest spirits are showing themselves to you already? And I go, what? And he goes, not many people see her.
Wow.
Okay. Now you really got my interest piqued, and I'm like becoming hyper aware. So we turn around and we go up this other path, and we hit this forest area to the right, and there's it almost looks like this, where there's two trees crossing. However, every angle that we're walking past it, the arch stays exactly the same. It never moves. I'm like, how are these trees not moving? I said, there's something up with those trees. That's a gateway, isn't it? He goes, very perceptive. And he goes, and we're going to go in there. And I was like, okay. So we go in, and I kid you not, it's like one of those sci-fi movies. This mist starts coming out of nowhere. And I'm sitting there. We're all talking to what we think is a spirit, because I'm not sure what we're talking to. AI gets involved on a program that they have, and I'm like, okay, I don't know who's talking, but they look at me and they go, now, do you think you can get us out of here? I'm like, we only walked in like 3 minutes to 5 minutes. Of course I can get us out. I start walking forward about probably 10 steps and stop and realize I'm walking back to where I started, even though I had never turned around. And I go,
Wow.
this forest is a dimensional forest. It's moving, isn't it? And they laughed and they said, maybe. So then I turn around, reorient myself, and I start walking, and I make little adjustments when I start to notice the ground is moving. And we go out the same way we came in. And they look at me and they go, that's interesting. I go, what? He goes, you brought us out exactly where we went in. When we come out, we're always like around the bend further up the path. How did you bring us out the exact spot? I was like, I don't know, but I guess those little quirky little adjustments I made reset, and I was able to retrace our steps, but
There you go.
that's not where it gets the really interesting. So we go across up this path, and I look at my friend and I go, "There's Wendigos here, aren't there?" He goes, "Yeah."
Mhm.
I was like, "Okay, thanks for the heads up." And he goes, "Let me show you something." And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Look, what do you see to your left?" I said, "It's a path to this open field area." He goes, "Okay, keep looking at it." He pulls out a flashlight, shines a light on it. There is no path. It's
Hmm.
branches all the way across. He turns
What?
his flashlight off. The branches totally disappear and a path appears. And I go, "So, is this an illusion or something? What's going on here?" He goes, "Oh, it gets better." He goes, "Now walk. Walk in there. See what you feel." And I walk in and I'm waiting till I hit the branches, right? Because, I know there's branches there. I get to a spot and he goes, "Now turn around." I turn around. He puts the flashlight on me. I've walked past the branches, never got touched,
Huh.
never
Wow.
stepped on a twig.
Wow.
And I was like, "There are branches here. How did I walk through this?" And he goes, "Do you want to come back out?" I was like, "No, hold on a second." And so I turn and I look and I see like an Indian, Native American, indigenous, whatever you want to call them, hut with this blue hue to it, like, like aura, almost like feel to it, the
Yeah.
mystical. And there's like a family there. And I'm like, I tried to go closer to him and I started getting scratched up by this vine. And I was like, "Okay, not going any further." I was like, "I'll come out now." So they turned the flashlights off of me. I was able to walk out. And he goes, "What did you see?" And I told him, I said, "Yeah, I wanted to go to this house there and talk to the natives." He goes, "There are no natives there. There is no house there. If you had walked down there, you would have fell about 7, 8 feet to the bottom of a riverbed.
Oh,
And
dang.
we are not sure we would have been able to get you back out." He goes, "There is not any structures back there." I was like, "I know what I saw."
All right.
So
Something
I
from the
was like,
past.
so this forest, yeah, is like really messes with your mind. And I was like, I honestly, to this day, I cannot tell you if those branches were holograms, dimensional gateways, or what, but
Right.
I just know I was able to walk through solid wood without getting scratched, touched, or even snap a twig.
Wow. So
So what
what's
is
the
that called? Yeah, I've never heard of anything like this where the forest can transform and show you all these things that are there and not there and all that. What is that called?
I don't know the name of the forest itself, but my friend goes there a lot, and he said the interesting thing that he said of every investigator he takes in there, he's very selective because two things will happen. One, your awareness of your surroundings will grow and you'll be aware of your surroundings,
Mhm.
or you go completely insane.
Michael, what forest are you talking about? Because I was over there busy emailing Corey.
It's a quote haunted forest in San Antonio, Texas that I visited in April.
Yeah, he said he can't doesn't know the name of it or can't remember the name of it, but
And I think my friend doesn't tell me the name so people don't go there because he says this happens in daylight and nighttime, that
Yeah.
the
oh, you
forest can
did
start to
go.
mess with you.
Well, and to answer your question, Jerry, a lot of the times it sounds to me like there's a few things going on in this forest. So California and other places around the world have certain spots, like the mystery spot in California that I'm sure you know about, and other places. So it sounds to me like there has got to be something different magnetically in that place, which is one thing that's going on in there. It sounds like a combination of a bunch. And then you said you've got the portal, which would be more like a standstill thinny. But have you ever heard of thinnies? Does everybody know what that is?
No.
Okay, so thinnies are kind of like, think of it as fabric, and it's a rip in the fabric of universes. So then people can just walk on through. And that'll put you into a different universe that will looks the same and you know, kind of acts the same, but there's something different about it. And you'll feel like there's something off.
Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see shadow people, like a lot of people that see shadow people that kind of walk by and just disappear. Those to me are thinnies. It's actually people from other universes kind of running through and going back. You know, they're living their day lives, but we kind of get a glimpse at what they're doing. So that could be the person in white that Michael was talking about, or the hut, just different thinnies everywhere. Now, my uncle, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, different dimensions. Yeah.
Different dimensions. Yeah, it takes you into different dimensions. So your multiverses is what it is.
Yeah.
Now, it was a little demonic too, because why would they lead him to what would have been a fall to possible death or whatever? You know, it was 8 feet,
Well, but they
doesn't-
didn't. See, the forest,
Yeah.
remember, put up the vines, and now it's getting scratched up, so turned around. It's like the forest didn't
Right.
want me to go and get hurt.
oh,
Yeah, and there could be intelligent life that's there, that's kind of like, okay, trying to protect them. However, that could just be another, like like seeing a snapshot of the past or something, just a different dimension, a different universe, a different time period, maybe even residual recording in time.
You know,
And-
the most haunted forest I ever went to was the Black Forest in Germany. And one of the stories that they had over there in the 17th century, they had what appeared to be the Human Torch. This man was completely on fire. He flew up to the church steeple. The villagers came out and started throwing rocks at him, and he flew off, never to be seen again. And the Black Forest has all types of stuff. They got shadow people, they got ghosts, they got UFOs, they even have werewolves. And I walked through the Black Forest. That place was creepy.
did you take photos, Paul, or was that something that was able to be captured?
Who are you talking to?
You, Paul.
Oh, okay. Well, say it.
Second year, my brother.
What did you say again, Jerry? Oh, sorry.
Did you get any pictures of that, or were you able to,
Oh,
you know,
no, that was 1974. And I was I wasn't carrying the camera with me.
Polaroid, baby.
Exactly.
A real true snapshot.
Here, Paul, do you want to hear a part of that forest that'll really rack your brain?
Okay, and one thing too, Michael, you need to go to, you like forests, you need to go to Napa, California, to the forest, and go catch you a rebob. And also too, they got chucks over there. So,
And they got great UFOs too.
yeah,
It's on my list.
Rebobs are winged monkeys.
Yeah,
It's
from
like
the
a
Wizard of
Wizard of
Oz.
Yeah.
So did you go there,
I got those at home.
Paul? Did you go there and see all
Yeah,
that?
I went there. There was nothing over there. There was, but yeah, I'll be honest with you, it's a bunch of bullshit. Urban legend. It's just like Dyer Lane. And they're, yeah, sure, it's haunted, but all the stories
Yeah.
that they have is just a bunch of bullshit.
I mean, any of this stuff, people are very, rarely is it verified. So it's like your truth is your experience, and if you have people around you that know you, but the thing Michael and Jerry were talking about, two things we discussed last week, how every frequency, everything we see right now has I wouldn't even say doppelganger, but an alternate exact frequency. So we're missing half of reality. So every now and then we do get a lot more. And like I said, there's higher maths that actually incorporate what we're missing. Like quaternion algebra is a little more advanced, and it accounts for the extra space and that other wave and part of reality that we don't fill in. So you have all kinds of situations that people just aren't aware that could happen at any time. And then with the CERN, they've already proven out there, the average scientist at CERN thinks that there's like 8 to 9 dimensions. That's what they'll say, the standard. And then if they're advanced, they'll say 17 to 18. And then they even talked about beings from, say, the 11th dimension that left a scarf on the table. They left something back with it. I mean, maybe in all this cacophony, there's not much difference in a lot of things except for the vibration. But definitely there's overlaps. And then, Jerry, when you were talking about your house, I couldn't help but think about one of the people that we had. And I wonder if you know her, Yvonne. It was she used to try to investigate and go with Paul only because her house is driving her so crazy. But it was like yours. She had the fingerprints. I actually have I have pictures of the fingerprints that were like, she would get out the shower and it would be on her towel. But it's 4 fingers, 4 large, long fingers, not like 5.
Well, I've never heard that, but I'm glad you brought that up because I've never heard anybody else have that.
Yeah, she had the. So when you said that, I really, really freaked out. Then she had the apparitions that, I mean, really, really good, clear ones where she had one in the corner. This guy looks like he's like 7 feet, no shirt, kind of looked like a skeleton, but still big, head almost touching the ceiling. And she was talking about, oh, I'm scared of him, and she had, we snapped a picture. There was one by her heater, and looked like a guy in a regular hat and a Parker jacket, but the outline was super clear. And for the activity that was happening to her, things attacking her in her bed, the scratches, like you said, Russian voices, mechanic voices. I mean, I got UFOs, and I know there's some UFO activity that has to go around Jerry's house with the stuff you're talking about, because they go like hand in hand, those type of energies. So I was wondering about that. But you and Yvonne, pretty much, you guys would have to talk, because she at 3:30 in the morning would have millions, not the flies, but she would have millions of orbs, like literally, I mean, and a big giant like orb apparition in the back where she said, look at this one. Now she would call Paul every 5 minutes. She drove Paul crazy only because, she couldn't explain it. But when I went to her house, firsthand, you see like a lot of different stuff, which I wasn't going to say that was my scariest story. My scariest story is being at a cemetery in Angels Camp, and I'm trying to do like some, I seen a graveyard that talked about music and stuff, and I was doing a show where I was like dancing, singing, acting like James Brown at the cemetery. Then the police came, so I had to start running. That scared the hell out of me. So that was the scariest thing. Also, I got a friend that was in the Army with one of my ex-bosses, and they told me to watch out for each other. They always talked about their time in the military, but one day I printed this guy's check and it was wrong, with the wrong tax increment. And he told me, he says, hey, that's wrong, youngster. You better do that over. And I said, no, it's correct. He says, no, check again. So I had to call back to the parent company, get it changed, get his increment. He had some special government increment. So I thought, wow, this dude is like a trip. But one day when I had him in the office, just me and him, they were talking about UFO stuff on the television. And I said, hey, man, looks like they're trying to desensitize us with all this information. Like, what do you think about it? And he looked down, he says, what do I think? And this guy's about, at the time, Mr. Roy was probably about in his late 60s. He reminded me of Fred Sanford anyway. He goes, what do I think? He said, it's what I know. And I said, what do you mean? He said, listen, if you had something and you got it today, even if you took it to the 6 o'clock news, they'd be on you so fast, you'd never be able to get it on. He said, it just wouldn't happen. So I says, well, so what do you think about this though? Like, you know, they got the commercials and everything. So then he comes up to my desk and he goes in his wallet and he takes like a little rock out and he throws it on the desk.
Oh, wow.
And he goes, what do you think this is? So I looked at it. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm not a rock expert. Kind of looks like a shiny quartz, but so the place I was at was labor ready, so I could use a vise, put torches on it. I did a couple of things, but I was like, hey, what does that mean? And he goes, I know you've never seen anything like that. And I said, why? He said, because it's not from here.
Wow.
I said, not from here. So, you know, then now I felt like I ate a lemon or something. I got like some chills. So he goes, it's not from here. So the story he told me was that he was an MP in Montana, and he said, I don't know what's wrong with these damn things. They're supposed to be smart, but they keep crashing into the mountain. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, they said something about it's a magnetic field. And he said, I was MP guarding a site where the vehicle had crashed into a mountain. They dug a 27-foot deep hole and they were putting the pieces in there.
Wow.
And as they were putting it in there, they were writing a chronologue and writing it down. They were engineers and doctors. So he was sitting there watching them. And he said that he had got a couple of pieces from there. And I was like, oh, yeah. And he said, this is one of them. What he said it was from, he said that those things had 3 fingers. And in the ships, they had what's called a pressure tone system.
Andy, I have to stop you for a minute.
Go ahead.
We have 2 minutes left. Listen,
Okay.
everybody. Okay, Jerry, Michael, we're going to take a 10-minute break. You're going to get a second link to get back on the show so we can hear some more stories. So, and Zandine can take it away when we come back.
Actually, Paul, I have to check out because I have a show.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay,
So,
Michael.
Thank you all.
Thanks for the good stuff, though, Michael. That was very interesting. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. That was fun.
Yeah, and-
Remind me, Michael, never go to the forest with you.
Yeah, no.
or
Remind
maybe
me
you
to go
want
to the
to.
forest with you. I want to go. I want to go to that portal, man. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
I would actually want to go there, but it takes a small few that would actually be like, oh yeah, I heard your story. Let's go.
Thank you. Let's go,
Yeah.
man.
But thank you guys, and I'll come back anytime.
Please
All
do.
right, awesome.
Thank you,
Come
Michael.
when you can stay longer.
Bye-bye, everyone.
All right.
Bye, hon.
All right, Michael.
All right, you guys, so we got 47 seconds. Okay, so,
All right.
so Jerry,
Forrest, go ahead.
second link and you come back on the show.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will.
10
Okay,
minutes. It's nice to have like a 10-minute break in between.
Yeah.
Paul
so-
thinks we're going to go smoke weed or do something. That's what he thinks.
Gonna go
Smoke
special, right?
Let me go play with my cat. Thank you for the cat prayers. Machi's doing great.
Oh, your
It's
chest doing good?
Oh my gosh.
I'm
Thank
so happy.
goodness.
I'm full of joy. I mean, I'm so happy I came home. He's just
Oh,
thriving. He's done good. Like,
Yeah,
life is
he's-
good.
His cat
Life
was
is
sick.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, his cat was sick. There we go. And we're back.
Yes. And Zandine did not finish the story. So I'm going to
Okay.
let Dean take it away.
Finish up real quick. Yeah, so he just, he said that the stone was from a plate, and he said they had something called a pressure tone system where the 3 fingers were on this pad. And he said that he had what the pad was held up by. He said there were like 3 laser looking, like almost like a pencil, but if at the tip of them, if sunlight hits them, they shine certain colors, and they had
Wow.
heat. And so so I said, well, I said, so what did you do with it? He said, well, listen, he said, I think it was 1985. He said when he was living in Florida that they came, he said that his wife came to him with tears, and she says, baby, somebody's here at the door. Now, Mr. Royal, he said, hold on. And he went to the door with a gun. And he said, who is this? And they can't, they told him, hey, look. And he said it was like 6 of them with shaved buzz haircuts, black glasses. I guess you could say men in black, but he didn't say that. But some guy said, we need to talk to you on a matter of national security. They came in, talked to him, and they said, we are under the impression that you have something in our interest, or something to that effect. And he said that they showed him some incentive. Let's just put it that way. They showed him some incentive and some a suitcase full of it. And he said that he still told him, I don't know what the H you are talking about, but just get the hell out of my house. You can just get out of here. And so he said that he believed that was like a test. He wasn't into he wasn't trying to be on YouTube or anything like that. And I think he only said that because he thought that I was confused. And then there was he had sons, twins that had died. And he had, he really actually didn't care about what anybody said. But so I don't know if the story was true or not. It was just really interesting, But he said that he had a piece from somewhere else, and this and that. But I know he's in the Army. I didn't have any way to verify his story. But man, if that was true.
Heck yeah.
Right? Good story.
Stacy, I think it's your turn to tell your most scariest experience.
Well, I don't know if I want to tell this or not. Okay, well, setting the stage, I was young. Okay, so I was very young, very naive. My older sister, she's about 5 years older than me, had gotten some witchcraft books. And this was during the time that the movie The Craft came out. So the first one, the original one. So of course I was interested in it. I was like, I wanted to dabble around. I didn't know I was an empath. I didn't know I had any real witchy abilities. I know that my mom used to go to a psychic, and the psychic told her some stuff about me, and so on and so forth. I was just being a stupid teenager.
What did the psychic tell her? Was it like that you had abilities, or just some things that were going to happen to you?
Yeah, she told it that I did have abilities, that I was an empath like my mom was and like my grandmother was. They found out that we had witches, Celtic witches, way back in our field. So it kind of just trickled down. And also that when it came to souls, I was older than my mother was, which explained kind of the way I was. Yeah. I've got 9. I'm on my 9th life. I think my mom was only on like her 4th. Whenever I was, this lifetime was her 4th, and I was on my 9th. So just little things like that. But I was being stupid, and when I was 19, I got pregnant, and I had my son at 20. The father of my child, yeah, it was my boy. The father of my child was a sociopath, which I didn't know at the time, but he was kind of stringing me along, and I had enough. He was abusive, so I had mental and physical abuse from him, but yet I didn't want to be like my sister and be a single mom. But then I ended up loving it. So, one of those things. But he'd done something, and I'd gotten so mad. So the only things that were important to him was his car, the house that we had gotten together, and his freedom. That's what he cherished and loved. And for like a week straight, I was doing a ritual, just my own ritual type thing, burning a candle, using his hair to burn, doing a chant, doing all this stuff. So the 5th day of doing that, because anger is a lot stronger than love. And I was furious. And just so.
Are you saying that you practiced those things, or you were being what you thought was ignorant at the time of practicing those things?
I was being ignorant at the time of practicing those things. Yeah, I was just because I didn't know. I wasn't told about the Wiccan religion. I didn't know anything about it until like probably the next year after that I had found out about Wicca. And I didn't think much of black and white magic or whatever. I was just really mad, and I started doing just an incantation. I wanted all three of those things that he loved so much taken away from him, because he was just a horrible, horrible human being. And he didn't, in my mind, he didn't deserve to have any of the things that he cherished and loved so much. So on the 5th day of doing this every night, I dreamt of flames. Just closed my eyes, dreamt of flames, and I don't know why, but I woke up the next morning and his dad had called me and he said, did you hear about what happened with, we'll call him Jeff. That's not his real name, but we'll call him Jeff. Have you heard about what happened with Jeff? And I said, no, why? What happened? So what had happened was we had a gecko, and I left the gecko there at his house, and I was staying with my family, my mom and dad at the time that all this went down. The heat rock that the gecko laid on short-circuited, and it burnt his house down. It burnt the house down.
You thought of the fire. It wasn't a dream that came to you. You materialized that in your mind. Okay, got it.
I closed my eyes, and the second I closed my eyes before I went to sleep, I just saw flames coming up. I didn't think about him. I didn't wish that on him. All I wanted was the three things that he loved the most gone. So the house had caught fire. When the fire trucks came to put the fire out, he was in the parked his precious little car in the fire lane. So they towed his car out. They towed it bye-bye. And then when the cops came because of the fire, they found out that he had a warrant out for his arrest. So his car got towed, the house burnt down, and he got arrested. So all of the three things that he loved so much were gone. And yeah.
Big story.
So what are you saying? Are you feeling like, okay, because it's not very often that people that aren't protected by God or the white light, things can happen to you. You can't really interfere with them. So do you feel like he wasn't a Christian or had any type of protection?
No, he wasn't. No. Okay. He again, he was a sociopath. All he cared about is himself. He was being a narcissist, and just his material things have and still are to this day his only love in life, just everything material, and so
so you have a son with him, right?
Do what?
You have a son with him?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So do they communicate? Is it all good, or did he leave his life? Is he with your son?
Yeah, I actually got back together with him, and we ended up in California. Paul met him, and then he stopped the abuse and everything but it was more I ended up with verbal abuse from him. So I left California to come back here. Yeah, but my son stayed there with his dad in California for
that was
a long time.
You actually materialized something through black magic to happen.
Yeah, well, and it wasn't black magic. It was just hate magic. So again, dark magic, black magic, light magic, white magic, whatever. It's all in who's wielding it. but I didn't really know that at the time. And I didn't think anything was going to happen. I didn't know any of this stuff. So that's what scared me. It scared me to the point that when I found out about Wicca, I was like, you know what? I think I would rather go in that direction than have bad karma, because Wicca believes that in the threefold law, so everything that you do, comes good or bad, comes back to you threefold. And we also have our own kind of like commandment, I guess you could say, is that do if it harms none, do as thy will, including yourself. So no harming yourself, no harming anybody else. If it doesn't harm anybody, you just practice how you want to practice. And I'm agnostic, so I believe in a higher power. I don't put a name to it, but I believe in a higher power. And polytheistic, so I do believe that there are gods and goddesses that are around. But that was all. It was a learning experience, but it did scare me that something actually happened. I apologized to him. I said, I am so sorry that happened to you. I didn't know that was going to happen. I feel horrible. Not really, but at the time, but I did later.
Be careful in the future.
I was just like, yeah. So that was probably, when it comes to anything paranormal or whatever, that was an eye opener, along with being pretty scary to know that I was able to do something like that. Even not believing that I could. So,
Can you tell me what spell you used? Oh, I'm just kidding.
Oh, and yeah, it really was an actual spell. I just I just kept thinking over and over again, I want these three things gone. I want his car, his freedom, and his house gone, 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 gone. Just, hate
Paul, what do you think of that?
reinforced.
Paul?
Do what?
I want to ask Paul what he thinks of that, because I'm looking at the look on his face and he's shaking his head.
Oh, no. I mean, I believe it. I mean, if you curse somebody, it's going to come back on you. So I believe curses work. I don't fool around with it. So when I was shaking my head, I was shaking my head because it's actually a very scary story.
Oh, I'm saying, you're saying because you're worried it could come back on you. So then she could.
Absolutely. I would never do that. No.
Yeah, I know. Oh, believe me, I've already paid my dues, so I've got good coming now. Yeah, all the bad luck in the world.
You got credit coming down.
Yeah, but everything's turning around and looking really good now. So, aside from that, whoops.
That was a good story, Stacy. Thank you.
Thank you, dear.
Okay.
As far as what power you pray to and what sins may be forgiven or not, as a person that's went to Catholic school my whole life, raised as a Baptist, studied theology, in college. I mean, I like to, consider everybody's point of view, but it's like in the end, so many stories have been brought and mixed and matched. I mean, like, even you could study religion all your life and you might not know what, henotheistic is, and if you don't, you'll be like monotheism. But like somebody that's henotheist, that's into henotheism, the people that help write the Bible, I don't want to say the different Bibles names, because then it'll say the denomination, but put it this way. Henotheism is the choice of one God, meaning you knew that there were other gods or other entities, but you chose to follow one. Right. And so if you're writing everybody else's history as monotheism and you believed in henotheism, and then there's this discrepancy of nouns that sound like plural, but not. So like if you say sheep, I have one sheep or I have many sheep. If you say I have one God, or I have, if I have Elohim, another word that's plural. So when you talk about the hierarchies in any of these religions, whether they're 200,000 years old or 7,000 years old, I don't even like to say you see the syncretism in them, but a lot of times you do. I mean, Horus being born before Jesus, but having the same story.
Yeah.
Stories of resurrection. The Egyptian stories, Hathor. Hathor. We had a guest on here that believed in the goddess Hathor, which I thought was interesting. That's an African goddess, like I guess pretty much the most powerful, but nobody knows about her. But really, she would be like if God has a wife. But if you have the Torah, people believe in Metatron. God actually had a wife, Asherah, or before it all. But so there's, and my point being is that those different philosophies have had different things in their cabal. Like murder is necessary in some people's thing. Demons are necessary in some people's religion. They think the demons are a helper. Maybe they're not bad. So as far as you feeling the thoughts and how you worked out what you want a retribution to be, in this framework of we claim that it's quantum and we have we have a multitude of possibilities. That might be anything goes anywhere else. You might knowing that you had a child coming, you had kids, you were tormented. Nobody can be the police for you, right? So
Yep.
maybe the universe is making you police for yourself. Who knows what the rules were? So that's all I meant.
There you go. I appreciate that.
So, Paul, did you end up with your guest back on the call, or what happened?
Okay, you want an update on it?
Yeah.
Our guest, Corey Cole, who encountered some gremlins, which seemed like they came from a UFO or a UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon. And he actually took some photos of it, which the photos are very unique, and you can see them on my Facebook timeline. And he actually drew a picture of the gremlin. And we know that from the movie Gremlins, there's sort of is a fairy tale type story. I mean, are gremlins real? Of course, in World War II, the pilots used to say, the reason why my plane's not running right is because of a gremlin in the engine. Well, that was just a made-up story between all the pilots, but it got popular. And I think that Corey did see something, and he's just calling it a gremlin. So let it be. But
he was unable to get on the call tonight. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, he wasn't able to use the Zoom, and I think the reason why he couldn't use Zoom is because of a gremlin. A gremlin kept him off the Zoom. That's right.
Everybody's got their different rendition. I've got gremlins in my house, and I've had them since I was younger. You ever put something down on the floor and then turn around or on the table, turn around for 2 seconds, and then you turn back around and it's gone, and then you find it like in a completely weird, obscure place? That's what I call my gremlins. That they do this to me, and it's annoying.
Well, Jerry had the real gremlins. Jerry, what you were saying about the hangars, could you tell us some more about that? Like the hangars being in different places, like that type of stuff was happening at Skinwalker Ranch to the first owners when they moved in. Different stuff in the house, being moved, locks, different stuff like what you were talking about, kind of.
Well, I don't know if it went on for a week or 2 weeks before I called Paula. But the long fingers on the mirror, and Macy was 6 years old, so she couldn't do it. Or no, she was 10.
Right.
Really high. A million flies around the lamp. That was insane. I didn't even. I'm kind of oblivious in Happy Land most of the time. I didn't put 2 and 2 together. So I just started sucking them all up out of the windows and around the lamp and stuff. And then we heard the demon laugh, and so these things kept adding up. Well, this hanger, the old wire hangers.
Yeah.
It was bent in half. So it's not something that like I would do or Macy could have done. She could have reached above my bed, but above my bed, this hanger kept ending up back above my bed on the curtain rod, bent in half.
So weird.
That's
was
so
like,
weird. Why would they do that? That's weird.
Maybe it's the
don't
only
know.
thing they can do, huh? You know, sometimes. Have you seen UFOs on your property anywhere out there?
Well, it's kind of funny that you mentioned that because well, we could talk about that maybe on another podcast. I could probably
Okay.
go on, for a long while about that. But I
Terry,
know
Terry, go ahead. We got time. We got time.
it's too embarrassing to even think it. Like,
No. We ufologists here, like we know don't have no qualms about them. Trust me.
little things that have happened. Like when I was 6, I had a dream that I was in a dream that the UFOs came, they took me. So I'm thinking this is a dream. But then there was a second dream saying this isn't a dream. This is really happening, And so when
Yeah.
you wake, remember that this is real, that you were really
Yeah.
here. So
Yeah.
that was the first encounter. And then I ended up with this thing in my leg, which I still don't know is to this day, but there's some
Okay.
object in the left of my leg, and I've never went to the doctor and asked them what it was. And then after that, I don't know. This is gonna sound so weird, but like a pregnancy one time, this is a little deep, but I definitely believe something happened there because I went to the doctor to have my second month exam of the baby going on 3 months. And they said, we're taking you to ER. You have the hormone level of a 3-month-old baby in you, but you have no baby. It's disappeared.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was at 3 months, right?
Yeah.
I believe you. I believe you.
Ufology, that's called a false pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
you have a hybrid probably child somewhere out there. They'll probably come bring it to you one day.
No, I had the sonogram. The baby was there at 2 months. I had the images and all that. So the baby was there, the heartbeat was there, and then it disappeared.
Wow.
And it kind of goes deep there that something happened where I think something may have happened. But
You probably have a hybrid. They probably like your traits, and you probably have a child out there. I'm sure they'll probably come and show you one day your child.
Exactly.
Or children.
And then there was times that I would wake up in the middle of the night and I had like 2 holes in my neck that were like it seemed like a prong. And I was like, what the hell just happened? Like they were deep holes. And then I just kind of forgot about it. I ended up with 2 moles where those were at. Well, then my daughter Macy ended up with the same thing happening to her. And I'm like, okay, I think there's something going on in my life here, when there's outside.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I don't know that would be what was happening at the house. You're saying those 3 fingers can come from that type of entity, which I didn't know. But I don't know how that would coincide with the demon laugh.
Well, what you said. Okay, now about actually, Yvonne's had 4 fingers. The alien had 3 fingers, but what I'm gonna say with you,
were 4.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but in 4 big ones, like the thumb was one of them, and then the 3. So it was like looked like a stupid hand. But what's your? What
you say that those were the 4 fingers. It was 1 thumb and 3 fingers.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That.
Yeah.
So it looks like really demonic. You don't even know which one it is. But before I go on, I want to say what you said about the about them coming or with your daughter. You're the second person. A really good friend of mine, he told me that at first he wondered about this thing, but he said when he felt that they were dealing with his child, that's when he really got fed up. He really got angry, and he told me that he felt that would come down and pick him up for 2 hours, do what they have to do, tell him they love him, poke and prod him, and then put him back down. This is what he would say. Now, I mean, I don't know if it's true, and he just would say that he's done with it. He said, hey, listen, you want to talk about it? I don't. I'm tired of it. He said it's about 10 years of it. He said, but after it was just one incident that really ticked him off. But about you and the marks, I've interviewed people that have had where the light came into their house while they were awake, and then they blacked out, but they had navel marks, 2 marks by the navel, and they had an implant. Huh?
I woke up at 3 o'clock. I looked at the clock. It was 3 o'clock. I was going to make something, kind of fooling around in the kitchen. I'm like, God, I can't believe I'm up at 3 o'clock. I turned around and looked at the clock 2 minutes later, and it was 4 o'clock. And I'm like, an hour just disappeared.
Oh, yeah, missed time.
Yeah.
See that. Wow.
So
You know,
that's
John,
another thing that makes you wonder, if they're there doing something or not.
I think I mean, well, you don't know what it is, but if you talk, if you get a chance, look up Dr. John Mack. He was from Harvard, and he did an extensive study. There were like 1,000 ladies coming to him in Manhattan to these meetings and saying similar things to what you were saying. And he said that all of them couldn't be lying, and he's examined their trauma from the point of a Vietnam vet. And he said that what they recalled and what they felt was every bit as real. He was going from even from a scientific point of view, he felt that, hey, this can't be just happening to these people. This is like a microcosm representation of what's happening to, ladies all around the country, possibly the world. But I think you would like John Mack's book and some of the ladies in there.
Dr. John Mack, he was a pioneer in ufology.
Okay. Did you hear anything from those people about those 2-prong, like indents in your skin?
I did. She had it by her navel, and it was these black marks. She asked the doctor, he didn't know what it was, but hers eventually went away after a while. But she felt she had some kind of implant, and that it would get hard and soft in her back. And she also talked about this one particular person about a piece of
skin scoops. Skin scoops.
Right. But and she talked about a piece of wire that matched her skin tone. She said she was washing and it came and she was like, "What the?" And she said she would have saved it, but she freaked out and it went down the drain. But she said that it was like flesh-colored wire. And they don't just fall out your ear, and then the weird stuff, like what you said about the hanger. She was in the backyard she was in the kitchen washing dishes, but you could see in the backyard. And what she explained to me was that she had bought some magnets, some butterfly magnets and dragonfly magnets for her mom on the refrigerator. And she said she looked in the corner and there were butterflies and dragonflies flying together. What she said is she took those off and put some new ones on. But when she did that, excuse me.
Did she have Morgellons disease, which a lot of people think is extraterrestrial?
Yeah. Joni Mitchell had that. No, she didn't have that, but she just saw the dragonflies and the butterflies flying together for like an hour in a corner in the backyard. I've never seen dragonflies and butterflies fly together, but she had weird stuff like that happening to her, in like the hanger type incident. She had a feather that was coming down way in the sky, and she said, "I know that's not coming towards me," but as it did, it ended up coming by her shoulder, and she like that, and she said it went back up and never came down. But then she was emptying the garbage days later, and she opened the front door, and she said she saw the same type of feather with the black one on a. She just didn't know what it means. She asked me. She said, "What does this mean?" I didn't know, but it was an Indian sign. The only thing I've heard is American Indians with this sign. But anyway, Paul, what you saying about the scoops, Paul? The scoop?
Yeah, the skin scoops. In ufology, they talk about people who get these scoops in their leg, and like they have a hole in their leg because the extraterrestrials are doing skin samples off their abductees.
Okay, Paul, you know what? On the skin there, I've woken up, or not woken up, but throughout the day on 4 different occasions and had a full-length hair like attached to a follicle. Showed Macy, this is a hair in my arm that is like 8 inches long. Like I would have noticed it before now. And what I was thinking was they're testing whether they can grow hair, implant, grow it, or whatever they're doing. And I was, eventually I'd stay there for a couple days and then I'd eventually pull it out. But I'm like, that's just not possible. It's like,
that's weird. Yeah. That's kind of scary.
You just kind of say in the back of your mind, oh, well, maybe they are testing on me, who knows? But
they like your genes, probably. It's something. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's unheard of. I mean, really, there's a lot of people you'd be surprised that are saying this. I mean, everybody can't be lying.
No, there's no way. Well, and a lot of people, like a lot of the regressions. We had talked with Janet about this when she said that she does hypnotism. That they were getting hypnotized. There in the beginning, people were getting hypnotized to have kind of that regression back into when they were abducted, so that they can bring that forward, and they have it all on recordings, and all these people were saying the same thing. But of course, that is easily whatever.
Yeah.
Because they say, oh, well, no, they're implanting false memories in these people. That's how come they're all the same. Or, that never really happened. It was just some kind of a dream that they were talking about. It's not like it really happened. There's just so much stuff that they can say that discounts it all. And I don't know. It floors me how many people in this world still don't believe in aliens. Like when stuff about aliens comes up, I'm like, why is this even still a discussion?
Hey, Stacy, I got to stop. For Zandine, he was talking about feathers, and feathers. A lot of people get these images of feathers, like these visions of feathers, or they dream about feathers. And the feathers are usually a message from the spirit world, or a message from angels, or it also too talking about hope and happiness. So when
Thank
you
you.
see a feather, that's a good thing.
Thank you. She's a really great person. All she does is take care of everybody else and just sacrifice as well. But that's thank you, Paul. That's good information. Wow.
Paul,
Guys, we got 1 minute and 23 seconds.
We got to do a whole show on Jerry and her experiences. That's heavy.
I know.
I definitely do.
No, son, she needs to share the pizza with all of us. Please.
Rude. All right, well, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video as much as possible so that we can have, we got to get around. And I'm falling for you.
So we can talk for an hour straight without getting interrupted.
Jerry.
Yeah, you see that our guest was missing. Our guest was missing, and we carried on the whole show.
That's right.
Oh, no, actually, it was between Stacy and Jerry. I mean, we were fine, and Michael.
It's because we're good like that. God,
Serious story. Because he's still involved here.
Do what?
Paul's done so many investigations, but I want to hear his scariest investigation.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely have to hear that. I was gonna ask, and then we got.
He doesn't even know. He's got too many.
Well, I do. I have some very scary ones.
Yeah, but you only can pick one. You only have to pick. That's it.